Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button. Also, click on the bell icon so you'll get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me on my live streams, which I do most weekdays. Or outside the live stream, you can consider joining our Discord. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also, if you're interested in getting some ideas of the meals that we enjoy, we've created a Pinterest board that there's a link for that down in the description below as well. Today is day 584 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose over 210 pounds so far. I'm 19 months through the challenge. I have 18 months left to go, or 17 months left to go. I'm very excited about reaching my goals and taking the information that I've learned in this 3-year period and using it for the rest of my life. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. How are you guys doing on your diets? If you've fallen off track or haven't gotten started yet, what's keeping you from getting started? What's keeping you from staying on track? What are the hurdles that you're trying to overcome? Also, what are you doing now to make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Few people checking in already saying hello here. Anthony saying hello. Hello, Anthony. I hope the connection does better today than it did yesterday for you. Carrie was saying that she had a lot of problems with it as well. Aunt Day's Kitchen, Our Tiny Acres, Pretty Girl's Mom, everybody saying hello. Hi, everybody. I hope you all had a great evening and a wonderful day today so far. Let's switch over. I got to find where my buttons even are. Everything is so off still. I haven't gotten it figured out yet. I'm going to move this mic and it might make a noise. I really have to figure out my mic and everything because I'm centered on the opposite side of my desk than I used to be, so everything is getting moved around. But yeah, I had a really good evening and a wonderful day. Carrie left me to go to the movies last night. She got a last-minute invite to go see the new Top Gun movie, so she has seen it before I have, which is just ridiculous. But I'll have to find an excuse to go to the movies here in the next couple weeks and check it out. But yeah, so it was a lot of hanging out with the kids last night and just lounging around, not doing anything super productive. The weather was still pretty good, but Aunt Day says that you over-ordered your veggies yesterday. Your freezer is so full, you had to let your veggies for today just stay out overnight and defrost. Yeah, that's not a bad problem to have, though, I guess, having too much. But you don't want to. You don't want any of that stuff to go spoiled. So I can imagine it's probably a little frustrating, and it'll be a little bit before you have any space in your freezer, it sounds like. So Our Tiny Acre says that it was a great movie, then that you guys went to see it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. It'll be cool to kind of have a sequel to such a classic movie, you know, like a movie that they never really thought there was going to be a sequel to, I guess. And so it'll be cool to check that out. Last night for food. Let's see if I do this, if it ruins my internet connection. Let's see what happens. If anybody notices a change, let me know. But we are going to go over the food that we had last night. I did not eat a lot of food. I'll talk about that a little bit, but and they must have. I got a feeling that Carrie accidentally deleted your comment here, Aunt Day. I don't think that I can undelete your comment, but she gets crazy with the phone buttons. I don't imagine she meant to delete that message on purpose. Food since yesterday. Last night was Mega Veggie Chili Monday, and it's not working. Of course, I'm on the right. Oh no. I hope I'm on the right server. I'm on the right one. Is this on the right guy? This is on the wrong Wi-Fi. That's why. Here we go. Now we should see an improvement in the system. Oh my gosh. See, I'm just screwing everything up. All of this new stuff has just got me all. Carrie says Aunt Day's Kitchen that she accidentally deleted your message when her screen froze. So hopefully she didn't time me out. But okay, you're back. So that's great. Let's try this one more time and see if it works this time. Well, there we go. That was dinner last night. Mega Veggie Chili Monday. Pretty standard meal for us. One of the differences in last night's dinner, and you can tell when you get real close, we did not have a lot of, I can't think of the bulgur wheat. We usually put bulgur wheat in it as one of the last ingredients. We pressure cook everything except for the corn and the bulgur wheat, and then we put that in there, let it go to pressure, and then go from there. We didn't have a lot of bulgur wheat last night, so we ended up using TVP, or textured vegetable protein, and it was really good. It really has a great texture. I mean, I think that's the whole point of it, is that it's designed to give that like ground beef kind of fat feel in the mouth, and it was really good. It didn't add anything flavor-wise, as far as I can tell, but it did add a good texture, and that's a big part of any diet or any kind of thing that we eat. Is the texture is really important to us, and the companies know that. One of the books I read, I think it was Salt, Sugar, Fat, they talk about this a lot, but like the Cheetos are scientifically engineered to be the texture they are, because they found that people eat more of them with them being that texture and that consistency. They could get all of those flavors through a different vessel, and there's probably many other types of chips that have all of the same ingredients as a Cheeto has, but they design it specifically that way so it has a texture that is more enjoyable. And just adding something like that TVP to this does give that texture feel, proves it a little bit overall. There's some other things that I've noticed texture-wise, like oat groats. I really like the texture of oat groats versus rolled oats. And I've been really liking rice as well, just kind of the mouthfeel of that. So this was dinner last night, and then I ended up having a couple bowls. This wasn't a very big bowl of it actually here. And then I got kind of snacking yesterday. We don't have much for snacks around the house right now, which is probably a good thing for me. If we had fewer snacks, or fewer snacks that I eat, would be best for me. And yesterday we were kind of running low on some different things, or we have been running low. And so I decided to make myself a little sandwich here. Susan says that looks yummy. Yes, it was really good. You made chili tonight. I hope your chili's great. Carrie says that she's thinking about making the plant-based Gabriel 3-2-1 burgers tonight, along with the salad, which sounds awesome. Those 3-2-1 burgers were really good. And then Amy says, that looks delicious. Shy is asking what the 321 burgers are. So I believe if you were to like YouTube or Google plant-based Gabriel's 321 burger, that would be the recipe to get from that. Carrie may have shared that on the Pinterest board as well. What that is, Shy, is a couple weeks ago we were talking about burgers or something, and 4 people on the chat were like, hey, you should try this burger, try this plant-based Gabriel's 321 burger. So Carrie got all the ingredients together and we had a couple, and they were really good. We took a little bit of mango salsa, put it on top there, ate it on lettuce. Overall, it was really good burger. So if you're looking for a plant-based burger recipe, I would recommend giving that a shot. Again, it's burger in its shape and its texture. I wouldn't say that you're replacing hamburger meat with it, but I enjoy it. I really enjoyed the flavor of it. So the other snack that I made myself yesterday was a little bit of a concoction I came up with myself, but we had just got in some Primo's gourmet mustard. Carrie had ordered some of their garlic mustard and then their spicy habanero mustard. And I really like the habanero. Like, I mean, it's just stupid hot. Like, you would not want to eat a lot of it. And so what I did is I toasted up some Ezekiel bread, and then on one half of it, I spread the spicy habanero mustard on one half of it. And then on the other half of the bread, I put some of the spinach hummus that Carrie made. And then I folded it in half and ate it. And it was awesome. Just great flavors. I mean, the spicy habanero really does kind of take over anything that it is mixed with, but it was an easy snack for me to make, not really a lot of calories. Figured it was probably healthier overall for me than eating a bunch of Ezekiel bread with peanut butter. So I tried that last night, had a couple slices, and really enjoyed it. So everything that we've been putting that spicy habanero on, I've been enjoying. It's just, I don't know, it's just a crazy flavor. If you're into spicy food, you'll like it. And I know a lot of people have said that they like that dressing there. So I believe that is all of the food photos I had, because we didn't have a lot of snacks around. I guess I did have some fruit, some apples. I had a couple apples, had a banana, and maybe some oranges last night. So, kind of a variety of fruit, and then those things to eat yesterday in the evening. This morning, I was just not feeling hungry. I don't know why. I mean, it might be that I had eaten so much over the weekend, and I ate a decent bit last night. A little bit of it might be just anxiety with work. I got a lot going on with work right now, so I have got that on my mind kind of constantly about different things I need to be doing with work. And this morning, Carrie got breakfast together, and I just was just not feeling it. I was like, you know what? I'm not really super hungry, and I don't need to eat. So I'm just going to skip breakfast. And so I skipped breakfast this morning. I don't know. It wasn't anything that I planned to do. Hopefully I'll see a good number on the scale because of it, but I'm not using fasting to try to push my weight down this week, or I'm not planning on using fasting to push my weight down this week. I'm going to eat the dinner tonight, the 321 burgers, and then plan on having breakfast tomorrow. I might skip breakfast tomorrow too, but I kind of have been going back and forth between 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day. And when I do one, like I eat all afternoon. It's not like I go home and just sit down and eat dinner and then that's all I eat. Like when I go home, I'm eating from 5:15 to 5:30 till 7:30. You know, I mean, I'm grazing. I mean, I eat a good portion of dinner or a couple servings of dinner, and then I kind of wander around and find some other snacks. And it was probably, like I said, it's a good thing though that we don't have a lot of snacks right now. We didn't have a bunch of shredded wheat. We didn't have I'm out of Ezekiel bread now. We haven't had the mangoes, haven't had the cashews. So it's nice having a little bit cleaner environment's not the right word, but an environment with fewer temptations has been nice for the last day or so, and hopefully that again reflects on the scale tomorrow. Susan says that your go-to snacks are lately baby carrots in an air fryer. Zero guilt, they're really good. You are a big snacker, so that satisfies your cravings. Yeah, is there any particular, you just put them in the air fryer for 20 minutes and do they crisp up or do they soften, I guess? Amy says that you're new here. You found me on Chef AJ recently. Do you cut off eating by a certain time every night? I have really been struggling with not snacking late at night. I am right with you, Amy. I know I need to cut myself off. I know I need to say, okay, it's 7:30. We're done. No more comes into the body. And I tell myself that a lot, that, okay, you know what? This is going to be the last thing I eat. And then 9 o'clock rolls around and I'm walking around the house and I'm grabbing a banana or an apple, or I'm pouring myself a bowl of shredded wheat. So I really do suck with the cutting myself off late at night. I think also it might be a little bit because of my eating pattern too. Because when I wake up, I have breakfast, I go throughout the whole day at work, I don't eat. And then when I come home, I eat. And I think that not eating lunch causes me to be a bit more ravenous than I would be, and causes me to, I wonder sometimes if I end up eating more at night because I haven't had lunch than if I would have just eaten something small during the day, because I tend to be very hungry at night when I get home. But I just haven't been able to figure out a way to cut that switch off. And it might be a matter of just making sure I'm getting more food eating more food earlier in the day so that I don't get those cravings late at night. Some of the food that you eat might affect that too. If you have food that is slower to digest, maybe that would help reduce the late night cravings. But I know I need to get rid of the late night cravings. Dr. Greger has talked about it in his book, How Not to Diet, that the studies have shown that people that give themselves a window of a couple hours before they go to bed have better success with weight loss overall than people that do a lot of late night eating. Carrie said that she made carrots in the Instapot when she was making potatoes. She loves cooked carrots. Yeah, we had the meal I shared yesterday. It was our Friday evening meal that had a bunch of root vegetables in it. It had sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, and carrots in there. And the carrots were so good. The sweet potato was really good too. It'd been a while, I feel like, since I had a sweet potato. But yeah, having them in the Instapot's really good. We'll have to try them in the air fryer. Yeah, we'll check that out. Susan says that you cook the baby carrots for about 15 minutes. They do soften up a little bit. If you want them crunchy, 10 minutes is good. So the longer that you air fry them, they soften up. The baby carrots in store. Okay. The baby carrots in the stores always taste like bleach to me. You do cut up regular carrots and air fry them, though. Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying about there's like a taste or something on the carrots. I kind of can understand what you're saying there. I don't know that I got bleach from it, but I think I understand what you're saying with them having a little bit of a flavor. They said if you put them in there for 15 minutes, they brown a little bit and they seem sweeter in the air fryer. Amy says, yeah, with the food, to cut down on the late night craving, maybe having something, having more food earlier in the day would just help reduce, sort of like this morning, I didn't feel real hungry, like I wasn't, and I'm still not feeling real hungry right now, even though I haven't eaten since last night. Amy says that when you do have a good fasting period at night into the morning, you always feel better the next day. Well, just remember that you're going to feel better if you do it this way, and then do it that way, right? If that was easy, if we could just remember how our choices today are going to affect us tomorrow. But that's what got me in this position, is that I was making that dealing with the crap food a tomorrow John's problem and not a today John's problem. So yeah, and I've heard wonderful things. I mean, many doctors recommend giving cutting off your food a couple hours before you go to bed. And I haven't gotten into the practice yet. Pretty Girl's mom says that organic carrots taste better. Yeah, I would imagine that if you can get rid of the pesticides, the processing and things like that, it would probably improve the flavor from them, and they're not so bitter. Okay. But let's see, we got talking about carrots and stuff. So yeah, so I just haven't eaten a lot. Susan says that they get the organic baby carrots. Okay. Yeah, it's really been not bad day though. Even though I skipped breakfast, I've been feeling good. Got a lot of work done today. I ended up being a little more active. It's always interesting. So I have I have a Garmin watch. I don't know if I can. Let's see. That's gonna go way off screen, and then there we go. Let's just get awkward. I have a Garmin watch. I would recommend that if you don't have any type of tracking device like an Apple Watch or this Garmin watch or even like a Fitbit, that you should look into doing it. You don't have to base your whole program around getting a smartwatch, or you don't have to use I don't use a smartwatch for hardly any of its actual features other than it tells me the time, and then it also tells me the sunrise and sunset, which I kind of find interesting that I know that more. I pay more attention to that now because of this watch. Because I do feel like I should base more of my day around the sunrise and sunset. The sun setting at 8:32 tonight, I should probably go to bed within an hour of that. I won't go to bed within an hour of the sun setting, but I always feel like I should do a better job of setting my biological clock to the sun rising and the sun setting. But what I do really enjoy about the watch is, one, it tells me my heart rate, which I used to have just an awful resting heart rate. And now I can sit here and my watch tells me that my heart rate's at 70 beats per minute right now, which is a really good resting heart, not a really good, but it's a better resting heart rate than I had before. One of the things at the heart rate when I first got this, because I got this watch 4 or 5 months before I started this channel, and I would constantly get this reminder, because the watch tells me my heart rate, that anytime I would walk up a flight of steps or I would do anything that caused me to have to exert any type of energy outside of what I'm normally used to doing, my heart rate would just skyrocket, like up into the 120s on here. And so it is nice that I kind of have that heart rate gauge that I can kind of tell that that it's not getting out of control or out of hand. But another feature that I like about this watch is it does have a step counter. Now the pedometer on it is way off, and the stair climbing, it'll tell me that I've climbed 10 flights of stairs. Sometimes it'll tell me I climbed a flight of stairs just hopping into my pickup truck. So I don't trust that it's like a perfect measurement of my steps or actual number of stairs that I went up, but it does do a good job of overall just measuring my activity. And with the Garmin watch, they kind of set it up such that it just has a couple days, or it bases your daily goals off of the last few days, and then it just adds like 5%, or it just adds a little bit. So you kind of do a little bit more than you were previously. And today at about noon, I was doing stuff and my watch vibrates when I hit the step goal for the day. And I don't even know what the step goal is. The watch doesn't even tell me how many steps I've done. Okay, so, there it goes. So it says I've done 6,600 steps today. I probably have not done 6,600 steps. I like to talk with my hands. There's like 8 steps right there. So it doesn't do a great job of measuring everything, but it does show me when I'm being a little bit more active. And today I was a little bit more active. My phone, my watch vibrated at about noon, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy," because a lot of times if it does go off, it does it in the afternoon, like when I'm at my house doing yard work or taking care of some things. And today I did a lot of walking around. We have a couple different places that a couple different buildings we have for work that I wanted to get. We had some weeds growing up that I wanted to get sprayed. So I did a lot of spraying of weeds with this backpack sprayer that we have. And so I was able to kind of get some activity in doing that today, but it wasn't an overly active day, but it hasn't caused me to be any more hungry than I normally am either, which is cool. And then, so that was kind of the day activity, just being a little bit busier at work. And I have been listening to the Starch Solution book by Dr. John McDougall. Really good book. I can't sit here and think of any particular mind-blowing thing that he's talked about in the book, but everything has been really on point with everything that I've been following for the past 18 months. Just looking at the chapter titles, some of kind of the interesting points that he talks about. He talks about how amazing our bodies are in healing, and how somebody can go through just a traumatic car accident and have bones broken and skin torn, and immediately our body goes into this repair mode. Like right away, we're sending things through our blood system to clot the blood. And then as soon as that's done, our white blood cells are going into those areas to fight infection. And just this whole symphony of things that happens when we have a traumatic injury. And what we don't realize is that those things happen on a day-to-day basis. And when you have an injury like a car accident, you see those scrapes, you see those broken bones, you see that torn skin. But when you're eating a diet that's damaging you internally, you don't see that injury and you don't necessarily feel it. And it takes time for the damage to build up. And you have to create an environment where you are promoting more healing than you are causing damage. And with our standard American diet, or the modern diet that people have been eating, that hasn't been what we've been doing. That we've, we've been doing just slightly more damage to our body than we have been doing healing. But, just that little bit of, that one little pinprick isn't a big deal. But then you get 1,000 pinpricks and you start to see a rash. You get 10,000 pinpricks and you start seeing bleeding. And so that's what we do with our diet every day, is we just slowly kind of damage our cells, heal them a little bit. You take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 step forward, 2 step back. So I thought that was interesting that he talked about in the book. He talks a lot about the environmental impact that our food choices have, and things like that. Aunt Days says that another trick that you had was to brush your teeth when you're done eating for the night. It's a mental thing because you're not going to want to brush your teeth again, so you don't eat more. Yeah, that would be a great trick to do as well, is that if you just get into the habit of just, after your final meal, brushing your teeth or rinsing with mouthwash, and just kind of, creating a, it was funny. I when I first started this channel, I talked a lot about putting brackets on your eating, like say, I'm going to eat between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and then just stay within those brackets. And by brushing your teeth, that can kind of help create that bracket or keep that thing there. The other stuff he talked about in the Starch Solution book, though, was about the environmental impact. And there's lots of people that would say, one stat says this, another stat says that, or, and you can make information look however you want it to look, to bend to your whim or your kind of what you want the facts to be seen as or presented as. But one of the things that I continually have to I didn't understand it before, and I didn't even really think that it was a big deal before, I guess. But now when I think about food shortages or food need, I think how crazy it is that we feed these animals then to get calories from them. It's such a wasteful system that we live in, that we have to feed a cow 70 pounds worth of grain just to get 1 pound worth of beef from that cow. And if instead of eating that so every pound you have of beef actually means that we had to go through 70 pounds of grain for you to get that 1 pound of beef. But if you would have just eaten that 70 pounds of grain, how many days worth of food with that? Even if you ate twice as much in volume or weight of grain than you were of eating ground beef, you would still have 35 days worth of food if you just ate the grains, versus feeding the grains to the cows, the chickens, and the pigs, and then eating them after it's been filtered through their system. And it never really dawned on me at how wasteful our system is, because we want to have the biggest, fattest cows to produce the fattest meat, which gives us the best taste pleasure. And for me, I don't know how you get that message across more widely, but it's really been one of the things that has been the most surprising to me, that I hadn't thought of it before, and just how wasteful it is. I previously to starting this diet, it would have all been about taste pleasure. I wouldn't have cared about the animals or anything like that. So, so that's kind of, like I said, it's more of a waste thing as much as of anything, and the other thing he does talk about in the book too, is that a lot of these animal products that we eat, we wouldn't eat them just plain. Like, nobody's saying let's go have some plain chicken, let's have some plain pork, and let's have some plain beef. Everybody's talking about, well, if you have that chicken, let's have barbecue chicken, or if you have that steak, let's get some steak sauce, or get, cook it in seasonings and salt it. And nobody's eating meat plain. We're seasoning it. We're adding stuff to it. We're mixing it with other ingredients just to make it more palatable. And if we took as much effort that we put into the meat to make it taste amazing, if we put that much effort into a potato, you can make a potato taste just as good as any of the meat that you get, sometimes probably better, just depending on what you're willing to have. So it's been cool to listen to the Starch Solution book. Kind of reinforces everything that I have been kind of following so far. I think I'm going to get out of here unless anybody has any questions in particular. I feel like I might have had somebody make a comment, but not sure. No. Anyways, I am going to get out of here for today. I have weigh-in Wednesday tomorrow. Looking forward to hopping on the scale. Hopefully I can nudge that down from the 306.6. Again, I say this a lot. I feel amazing. And so if the scale doesn't do what I want it to do, it doesn't change how awesome I feel. And that is something that I wish I could bottle up how bad it felt to be 520 pounds. I wish I had some way that every now and then I could just like live how much it sucked being 520 pounds for like 5 minutes, just so I could compare that to my life today. Cause it is a weird situation to be in. I'm only 18 months removed. I do remember a lot of the awful things, but there are many things that you just don't even realize, just like from getting up the first thing in the morning and having to lay in bed and think about how you're going to get off the bed and how it's going to affect your ankles. And you have to make sure you don't step on anything that causes you to twist your ankle. And then you got to take those first 10 steps so that your body's, used to being under all that weight again. And now when I need to get up, I just hop up and I go. And it's just wild how much different life is at this weight. So, see, Stanley says that you just got on. Sorry, missed you today. No problem, Stanley. You can check out the replay. And if you do have any questions, throw them up there and I'll try to answer them on tomorrow's stream. But I am out of here today. Get subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, click on that bell icon so you get alerted when I go live. If you have not started your diet yet, get started now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next week. Get started right now. Start making the decisions that are going to get you in a healthier position right now. Because nobody gets to their goals and wishes they would have waited. Everybody who gets to their goal weight looks back and says, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have known how good I was going to feel. I'm the same way. I'm not even to my goal. I wish I would have started sooner. So get started today. Don't fall for the 2 myths of moderation, the myth of moderate change, the idea that you're slowly going to make incremental changes that are eventually going to lead to this new diet, this new lifestyle, this new way of living that you're putting in front of yourself. It sounds great, but it is just so tough to do. If you want to see the big changes in your life, you have to make big changes. By just adding a little bit of salad before you eat a junk-filled meal is not going to get you where you need to go. The other myth of moderation is the myth of moderate consumption, the idea that a little bit of something unhealthy is okay as long as we eat it in moderation. Just have that in moderation. Doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for a lot of people. if eating half portions of food worked, if eating fewer candy bars or eating, eating just the fried chicken once a week, if that worked, we would have a population filled with skinny people, because we've all tried it and it has failed so many of us. So get started right now. Don't fall for the myths of moderation. Pretty Girl's mom says, hang in there for tomorrow's weigh-in, Jonathan. I'm rooting for you. Thank you. I'm rooting for myself too. I think I'll be okay. But I just gotta, it's all better than I used to be. All better than I used to be. Carrie says, see you tomorrow, guys. You guys all have a great evening.